Hey guys, JKS here. It's coming with another video. This is a guide on Tianhai. So I know it's Tianhai, but I just don't like the way that sounds. But anyways, so let's talk about this character. So
Nothing
he's
like
a
the
pretty
smell of freshly
simple
polished
character.
steel.
He's not hard at all, but there's just like a few things that I want to go over. So if you don't know already, that he has this bell that if you
I
use the
should be
first
tame
one,
the
which is
evil
the
of this
best one,
mask.
you can use it while under
We must
attack.
win it.
Uh, which means if you get hit by a light and they hit you, right? You can tank the hit. Let's say they open you up. That normally on any other character in the game, except Tomoch and Tarkaji if he uses his ultimate. Normally, if you get hit with a light, there's nothing you can do about the second light. That's actually guaranteed with any character in the game. Um, the only characters who can get out of that guaranteed damage is your boy Tianhai here, Tomoch, and
Wisdom and
Tarkaji with his
love are
ultimate. So what's important to know is that that move here, this is really
the
powerful
match.
because you can use
Like
it
a
while
step
under
on the
attack. Now
road
the
towards
second
freedom.
one here, you can't use it
Or
while
senility.
under attack,
Hmm?
but you
I
can
see.
disarm enemies who do blue focus attacks. Now, even though that's a really good idea, it's just now this one here, it's not really important. Like, you don't want to knock people back because you don't really get anything for it, especially now since they made the buff to where characters whenever they are done being staggered, they can get up immediately. This doesn't do anything. So you only want to use the second one or the first one. And in my opinion, my strong
The
opinion, you
awakening is
only want to
here.
use the first one because having the ability to stop yourself from taking guaranteed damage is so good. Unlike this one where you can't use it while under attack, but you get to disarm enemies with blue focus. Well, people charge them and feign them so much you're you're never going to really know, right? Plus, there's some tech that I'm going to show you in this guide about this ability that's really important. So let's just get straight into it. So since you know that you can use this ability while under attack, you know that you basically at any point in time where you're taking damage, even if it's from a whole team, you can literally sit there and make them all stop attacking you. Okay. Now, what's important to know is that you can also do this ability in the air. So if you didn't know, like you can jump parry in this game. So like you can jump in the air and parry. So let's say you're attacking somebody and he's charging his katana, right? And a lot of people they would try to jump parry, right? But if you ever tried jump parrying, you know that it's not at all like super consistent, okay? So because it's not at all super consistent all the time, and sometimes it just takes way too long, this character can do something that's completely different, right? Because the timing for that is really like it's very specific now, even though the animation isn't true to the counter. So what you can do now with Tianhi is you can jump in the air, and if you're trying to counter a focus attack, you can do that. And notice what I did there. So that's what I wanted to show you. A lot of people want to use the second move
Wisdom and love are.
because they want to disarm the enemy because then they can get some
Showing you
damage
that.
or they can scare somebody or whatever. Well, whenever you hit someone with the bell, you automatically, whoever hit the bell, you automatically take your turn back, which means you now actually get damage or take your turn back. So if someone is in an animation where there's not enough hit stun and you pop this, especially if you're in the air, right? So you pop that button, you can actually just take your turn right back, right? And notice how you don't use it if you get clipped out of it. It actually has to come out. So it's a very generous move. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So you take your turn back. There's nothing they can do about that. They have to respect that. Or if you do it just right, you can actually get a
Ready again
guaranteed
for war.
hit off of them attacking you. So that's really powerful because you can do it in the air. So let's say like you were trying to like counter parry and then you
Not.
you know you wanted to press the button right after that. You actually can. So like if you know anything about this game, that's really powerful because you just put yourself in a double like situation, So to be able to play defense. This character is the tankiest character in the game, so you want to abuse what makes him so powerful. Um, Another thing that I want you to realize is that if you know about like the stun locking and whatnot, this, then you also know you can like do that with parries too. So you can get iframes really quick and then parry right after that to be ridiculously safe, right? So that's beautiful and everything, but you can also do that. So that makes it to where you can basically like iframe out of another move and then wait it out just a little bit, or you can do this and then right after that, if you think they're gonna go with a focus attack or a lighter, they're gonna fake it or whatever, you just pop the ability as a safety measure. And if they hit it, remember you have frame advantage now, so they have to respect everything that you throw. And if you time it just right, you can actually get a guaranteed light off. So you could do something like this. See what I'm saying? Like if you get hit out of it, then you don't use the ability, which, like I said, that's very generous of it. So like right there, right? That's really important to note. Like if you get hit by it, you can use it and you just dash up out of there. Okay. Now right there, you can do a light, and if you do a light, then you can just go into stun locking if you don't know how to do that yet. So you can use this as a way to get guaranteed offense. Okay, you don't always have to use it as a defensive tool. You can use it just as a way to be oppressive. So like you can like exploit your like do this, exploit your gap, just use it as a safety measure, then get up out of there, and then use it like that. So you don't always have to use it as a reaction tool. You can use it as a I just don't want to give him a turn back. And so I'm gonna use this because I know if he hits it, then I basically get my turn back, right? So that's really important to know. And like for example, let's say you're clashing with somebody, or you know they like to do this a lot, but you never know which one they're gonna do. Then what you can do is you can just throw that out. Like you can like throw the button out and then bam. And remember, it's your turn right after that. So just keep in mind that this move is extremely, extremely powerful. Next up, let's talk about this. Okay, so I currently use this one because it allows for you to grab your teammates, and do if you hold them, you can actually restore their health and armor. So it's kind of like a healing ability. Now, I've always said that Tianhai, he's one of the tankiest characters in this game, and that's very true. But he can also just grab his teammates and then give them health. And what's cool about Tianhai, his ultimate, is that if you have a teammate on your team who is a laser beam, let's say he's using a repeating crossbow, you can just grab an enemy and just stand still and hold him and let your teammate shoot him while he's just sitting in your hand, and you can kill him so he doesn't have to actually like use it and put himself in a dumb animation. You can just use him as a way to like basically have your opponent in a stun lock where they can't do anything. You literally just sit there and make your whole team shoot the poor guy to death, while he's in Tianhi's Vagra's hand. This one here, what it does is it's basically the same thing as this one, except this one can now, do stuff for your teammate, but this one lasts longer by 5 seconds. This one is 5 seconds shorter, but you can heal your teammate, which is, in my opinion, way more important. Now, this one here, if you grab an enemy and you press the F button whenever you do uh, damage to them, uh, you get some health back. So if you want to be a little bit more of a solo player, this would be the one to go for. But if you want to be a trio player, this would be the one to go for. So uh, important things about his ultimate is that number one, whenever you pop it, it takes a little while to come out. So if you're being focused and chowed down, yes, you do have that initial frame of like safetiness, but if it takes a while to start up, so they actually can kill you if you're super low health and they're focusing you. They actually can kill you while you're about to pop it. It's happened to me a few times before. But what's cool to note is that if you pop this ability now, post patch they made it to where he has less Viagra health, but you don't take as much damage from your weak points, which are all the glowing points on the Viagra. I think that's how you say it. But you never really want to become a person who relies on the Viagra so much, because if you didn't know, every time you deal damage, your ult builds faster. Okay. Now look at my health right now. If you pop this ability, right, you immediately get full health and you can just get out of it. and then you're right back to square one, but now you have full health. So you can do that pretty quickly where you can just use it to get full health. Let's say you're super low on health, and most of the time when people see you pop that, they're gonna run away. So you can use that and then hop right back out of it. Maybe shoot some stuff at them if it's super low health. So you don't always have to just go out and all out in it. You can just use it as a way to get more health. Let's say if you just know that it's not really gonna give your team any benefit to have a big clunky thing, because a lot of people, they'll pop it and then they'll stay in it for way too long and they'll just wind up dying in it. Don't be that person. Be the person that uses it as it's needed or as a way to just get more health. If you are more of a melee person and you don't like if you can't really hit people or grab people, then there's no point in staying in it, just to be a bullet sponge pretty much. Well, you're not a bullet sponge. They can kill you pretty quickly. So just keep that in mind. And also notice that as you do damage, you can literally build your ultimate so quickly. So the more aggressive you are with this character, the more tankier you are. So that's beautiful to know. On top of the already good time. So the pressure points that you see here, if you see where he glows, that's where his weak points are. So if you shoot where he's glowing, that's where he takes the most damage at. So just keep that in mind. Now, again, if you want and you grab somebody, that's how much damage you do to them. But if you click like that and you do the same thing, you melt people, and then you can get out of it right after that and just keep it. Like, you don't have to stay in it for so long. Just be safe. Use it as a way to just get more health. If you're about to die, pretty much how people are already using it. But just keep in mind that you can use it to just get health and then get up out of there. And if you have a Karumi on your team, her ultimate combos really well. Let's say if you're just going to use this to get some health, and she's going to give you some armor right after that with her ultimate, or with her ultimate that just pops instantly, it works really well. So that way you don't have to always rely on the Viagra, because it really can become a little bit more of a danger than it is a benefit to have a big giant you know, right there just taking a bunch of damage. Now, if they're not focusing on it, then it can be really, oppressive. But if they're focusing on the character because he's a really big target and they're just all just taking out their weapon shooting at him, you can die extremely quickly. I mean, like, you can melt this guy. So don't be the person that stays in it for way too long, even though you're taking damage. So just be smart with that ability. So just remember that with his F ability, if you use the first one, you can use it while under attack in order to literally take your turn back, and sometimes get a guaranteed light right back from the stun of this weapon. I mean, of his ability. So just keep that in mind, and that alone is really powerful. And also keep in mind you can do it while you're jumping, which means you can do your attacks or whatever, and then jump in the air and let's say if you were in the air, and let's say you jumped over somebody or something like that. Let's say they hit you with a 1-2 combo and you did it late. You jump in the air and now they're charging the focus attack. You can just do it right there and then drop down like that and get that guarantee. Because depending on the animation of that focus attack as it bounces off, you can do this really quickly. And you don't ever this is one of the only moves in the game where it actually makes it to where you can okay, so we know how fast this is, right? Where you can light and cancel into counter, but this is a lot quicker than all of that, right? So that is super quick. So you don't have to be scared at all of anybody's pressure. Let's say they're charging a focus attack, just keep throwing your lights and then throw it in between. You can throw it out. It animation cancels way faster than your your crouch button does or your jump button does. So you can just 1-2 and throw it out immediately in order to just be super safe. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's pretty much the majority of everything that I wanted to show you. It's pretty obvious how creative you can be with a character like this. So let's say you're trying to run away. Now it also reflects and projectiles. So let's say you're running away and you have your eyes on them, and you're running away and you jump in the air, and then they they're pulling out a swarm and they start shooting at you. You can pop it, and then get up out of there right after that, or you can like come back and like go crazy and do something like that, right? Just be super smart with this ability
We'll show the
because it
uninitiated
is
how it's done.
completely safe. Like you can just use it as a reaction tool. Let's say like if you throw a light and they dashed it like that. Well, if you threw it and you see that, you can just pop it and then take your turn right back and even get a guaranteed combo, right? Because remember, if you land this right here is guaranteed, right? So you can stun lock from that, so you can get altogether like a butt ton of damage. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's say he just hit me with a light. Let's say I threw this and he dashed. Okay, so I'm like, oh shoot. Then I go bam. That's all guaranteed damage if you land that light. Okay, so you can use that to be extremely oppressive. So just be mindful that if, and the reason why I'm going over the whole do it in the air thing is because if someone's doing a focus attack that you don't know like the timing of it, remember you can do it and then like let's say you countered at the wrong time and they're still charging it, you can bam
Not.
and then punish, right? Or let's say you did it the
We'll
opposite
show
way,
the uninitiated.
which would be like to jump and then do that. Well, you can counter right after that. You see what I'm saying? So just use that and abuse that as much as possible. So if you like miss your timing, and it also works on the ground too. So if you miss your timing, you did that. You can dodge, counter. You can dodge attack. You can dodge crouch. You can do whatever you want. Like you can
We'll show.
after that move, you can go into whatever you want. You can like hit them with something, and let's say you hit them and then they dodged it. So you can do this
Combat
and
ready.
immediately
Let's
go
move.
into something like that or like that. You can do whatever you want. Okay, just keep in mind that
Ready again for
after you
war.
do that move, all of your animations are reset. So you can use it as a way to just keep pressuring him and then throw it out
I
just to be
cannot.
safe and then throw lights right after that. So it's a really, really good move. Tianhi is super, super, super strong. Right now, I think Tianhi, Timoch,
Another
and
match.
Yoto
Another
are
step
the
on the
three
road to
most powerful
wisdom.
characters in this game right now
Or senility.
because
Hmm.
um
We'll see.
and Tarkaji because they allow for them to people to not get guaranteed damage if you know what you're doing, okay? So that is my Tianhi guide. It's not super in depth, but if you go onto my all characters video, I went extremely in depth in this character and just like stuff like that, where you can check them out and see some more information that I'm not going to put in this video. So thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and all of that other good stuff.